Okay, and welcome to another live session. This is James Maduke speaking, trainingsites.io, and today I want to talk about 10 things that you're going to run into if you're considering building an education business. When I'm online, I'm visiting Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. Because I'm all in this online course and building these how-to tutorials and about YouTube content creators, one of the things that I get inundated with are all of these ads, whether they're sponsored ads or just people posting about creating online courses and actually selling online courses. And I'm going to go through today 9 other things that you're going to have to do other than create a course if you want to create an education business or build an education business. An education business is not about the online course. That is just one tiny piece of it. So I'm going to go through the kind of 10 steps, and this is in my campus blueprint, the map that's available to download on trainingsites.io. And I'm going to be upfront with you. There's a lot that's there, and I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible and minimize the number of steps that we see. And I'm going to start off just with the 10. Now, the thing that's kind of interesting for me anyway, as I learned about this stuff, creating and selling my own courses, was that a lot of the things that you pick up from traditional digital marketing or being an entrepreneur, they apply to selling online courses and building an online education business. It's not just about only selling digital products. It's really learning about that entire process of what it means to basically teach online and have some fun sharing what it is that you know, love, and do, and trying to earn some money with it. Whether that's a full-time business or a side hustle, kind of these 10 pieces are things that you're going to run into guaranteed. So let's take a look at them, and I'm going to touch on them briefly. There's a lot more meat there, and that's what all of my courses are about and all the videos that I do on YouTube. But I want you just to understand these things happen. They're going to happen for you if you're treating this as a business, and if you want to do more than just create a course and then have nothing happen to it. So let's take a quick look at some of the pieces that are involved here. Now, this is part of my, again, my campus blueprint map. Looking at this right now, and again, I'll do my best to keep it as a minimum. The first step up in the right-hand corner here is a topical authority map. If you've ever done search engine optimization for your digital products or your traditional website business that doesn't have to do with creating courses, you're going to have what's called a topical authority map. And a lot of people talk about creating a niche or making sure that you're very focused. I don't believe that's true in the terms of a niche. You need to have a series of topics that are all related that you can work in and around that particular category of answer and result that you're promising. It's always more than one little thing for one little person. There's always stuff that encompasses it. So you need to have a real solid map of knowing who it is that I'm helping, what are their problems, what are the questions they have. So that first step is you're going to have to be doing some research and getting a real deep understanding of this topical authority map. And there's a whole bunch of different ways of doing that. And if you take a quick look on the right-hand side up here, you'll see there's 27 steps. There's all sorts of stuff that we cover in there. But bottom line, if this is a business for you, you're going to have to do some research and you're going to have some kind of map of all of the problems that people face when they're trying to figure this out. The next one here, number 2, outline campus goals. Again, this is something that most people don't think about when they're creating an online course. They don't take any real depth into that at any point. And really what this is about when you get into it is making sure that you understand the problem that you solve, not the one that the customers, people want. But you have to know that you've got some kind of brand around that topical authority map. And more importantly, your purpose of your business is to support that particular problem that you're solving. And the other thing is you want to make sure that you have some goals, outcomes, revenues, reach. You need to have some business goals. What is it that I want my education business to do? Am I doing it for fun? Is it a business? Do I want employees? Do I not want employees? Do I want a certain revenue? Do I want a head count? Do I want to have a certain number of courses and sell a certain number of students? So you're going to have to outline these beforehand and make sure you have a real good understanding of what it is that you're really interested in. The next one I want to talk about is clarifying business models, number 3. And again, number 3 is an interesting one for a lot of people because they don't even consider it up front. They kind of fall into it. And if you treat it as a business and you don't have a business model that you're following, it can get super confusing for all of your customers and students because it doesn't fit the research that you've done, the topics that you've picked, and the way that you need to deliver it. It doesn't match, or more importantly, it's confusing to the students and yourself. So you want to make sure that you have a really good, clear business model in place. And things that are in the business model, they're kind of interesting to me anyways, because you're going to have things like, how am I going to earn income? What platform are you going to be using to generate revenues? Are you building something and launching it, or are you doing something slow and building up to it? How are you going to market it? Is it video marketing on YouTube? Are you going to use what channels, kind of thing? Are you interested in a course or community? How do you want to charge? Is it a membership? Is it paid? Are you offering levels, content, agency focus? All of these things are important, and you make sure that you kind of have a gist on what this is before you get started. And if you take a look at this, 1, 2, and 3, we haven't talked anything about courses yet, have we? This is just putting that solid foundation in place. Like if you're going to sell or build a house, anytime you're going to build something, you need to have a real solid foundation or pillars to build on. And those first 3, the research, the outline, and the clarify, those ones are vital, again, if you're treating it as a business. If you're not, that's cool too. Don't worry about it. Just understand, if you want to build more than one course, you want to generate revenues, treat it as a business, a little more than a side hustle, these things you're going to have to do. Do they have to be complicated? No, but you're going to have to check them off your list. And that's why they're here in the business map, or my small biz map. So this campus blueprint. The other one, number 4, just going to take a look at that one on the right-hand side here. Business tools. I cover a lot about business tools in the sense that I'm often talking about how you can use things like AI tools like ChatGPT or Claude, or more importantly, if you can use a tool like Napkin, or if you're going to do email marketing automation, you might want to use our Fluent CRM service that we use, or Active Campaign, or some of the other ones. You may be thinking about things like, am I going to use a WordPress website to host my campus? Or am I going to rent space at Teachable or Kajabi for my business system? So there's a whole set of business tools that are ones that, again, you'll have to spend some time with. And they're generally into 4 different groups. There's communication tools. How are you going to do social media, email, that kind of stuff? There's business tools that you're going to use, like how am I going to do my billing? How am I going to get paid? You want to be able to do in CRM to keep care of all the automations, more importantly, the stats and information about your particular customers or leads or the people that are in your business. And also, how am I going to generate and organize my content? So there's a list of business tools that you're going to have to get comfortable with, and more importantly, invest in as you're building out your particular business. Number 5, building your training site or campus. You can see that one there. There's 82 different titles for me inside, and that's stuff to cover. And these ones are all about when you're building out your campus. Just want to move this to the side. Your training site. This is when you get into implementing all of these things that were in the tools. So for example, am I going to use WordPress? How am I going to do support and tickets? What am I going to use for sending emails or instant messaging or online chat? How am I going to deliver my videos? Is it something that's in the platform that I picked, or am I going to use YouTube or Vimeo? How am I going to do audio, MP3 files? Do I have a podcast? How am I going to create graphics and copy and branding and themes? And all of these pieces are all involved in building out your campus. Now, do you have to have all of these at the start? No, not at all. However, you're going to grow into them as you start adding courses and you start adding customers, and you need to be able to, again, treat it as a business. So that one is number 5. That's building your training site. Let's go back to the blueprint here. Number 6, creating a course checklist. Now this is one that most people really don't get their head around. There are different types of courses, and there are different course journeys or learning tracks whenever you're having an education business. I have not seen a I've seen very few, put it that way. I have seen very few online education businesses that only have one course. There's always a series or grouping of courses that lead people from the beginning to the end, and there's not just one course that answers all of that. It's a series of courses that people travel through as they grow. It's a start, middle, and not an end, but an ongoing process. So it's starting, building, and growing. So you're going to have some kind of checklist or learning track, and that course checklist is before the learning track. Number 7 is the learning track. That checklist is, how am I going to structure or deliver these courses? What are they going to look like? How are the quizzes set up? Are they certification courses? Do I want to make sure that they take them in a progression? Do I have a standard sales page so that whenever I create a course, is it going to be delivered in the same way? Or is one course set up one way, another course set up another way, another course set up another way? Does this one look different? Does this one have a different sales page? So you want to make sure that you have your standard course format when you're starting to build out these learning tracks. So these ones are kind of combined, but understand that at the end of the day, you're going to have more than one course. There's going to be different types of courses in terms of length, and you want to make sure that you have a consistent way to deliver them, irrespective of which size they are. You want a standard brand or standard way that people are comfortable with, that they learn and are able to go through that path that you've decided. So number 7 is learning tracks. And the thing on the learning tracks, you'll notice number 7 that I've picked there. Let me just pull that one up here. If you look at number 7, I'm talking about fine tuning the past, but more importantly, these learning tracks are just those topical authority maps. They're the categories of courses that you've actually done your research on. So when you have a learning track, you know that your big, broad topic has these steps. Each of the individual courses and or steps that you provide in general will follow the topics that you have laid out in your research. So think about your courses and apply the way that you've structured your courses, and you release your courses based on the research that you did when you're picking out the topics. So that was number 7. Here we go. Number 8, course content. Again, I spent a lot of time on this one, course content. Reason being is that AI tools are making it absolutely a blast to create these courses as quickly as possible. And these are the ones where you're going to want to make sure that you have a set process in place where you can research your topics, create lesson plans, be able to do all of the different topics in the lessons, create a course syllabus, be able to generate sales letters, video sales letter, email marketing, launch material. So all of that course content, at some point, you're going to have to actually put it into your campus, and you're going to have to do things for each of these courses. Things like being able to capture and organize all of this content that you're creating, and use tools like Google's Notebook LM to make notebooks and collect all of this stuff. You want to make sure that you've got a way to keep track of questions that keep on coming up. Have that standard quiz that you can add to your particular course content. Lessons, topics, all of that great stuff. Badges and scoring. Are you offering certifications or reasons for people to complete stuff? But actually putting that content into your campus. If you've done the work before, you're going to have some set templates. You should be able to do that. That content is stuff where we use the AI tools to really make that easier and a lot faster. Number 9, the one that everyone forgets about, promoting your education business. Courses do not sell on their own. They never have, and they never will. You're always going to have to promote them. So there's a whole bunch of stuff around, in and around that whole idea of promoting courses. Let me just open up this one because I want to open up one here. There is a whole area in and around promoting courses. And I'm talking about a hub and spoke model, which I've talked about before, which is you will end up with a core program, and most people end up with individual courses or spokes that support that core program. And again, this is from the topical authority map. So when you're promoting your business, you have to think about, am I going to promote the core business and sell the different spokes, or am I going to introduce the spokes and promote the core by selling the spokes? So you want to kind of figure out that journey in and around all of your courses, because what happens is when you're doing this, you're going to determine how you're going to launch not only your core program, but maybe the individual courses. So you're going to have to look at things of how do your business platform, or how does your goals or campus goals, how do they fit in to how you're going to promote? How are you going to do content marketing? How are you going to do stuff like social media marketing, email automations, CRM tools, landing pages, all this stuff that we were talking about earlier? And then outbound messages and launch sequences. You may hear a lot of stuff about course launches. Did you know there's 7 different types of course launches, and each product has a better use of a certain type of launch strategy? So there's a whole bunch of stuff in there you're going to have to spend some time doing, play around with, and more importantly, optimize as you're doing all of this work. That was number 9. Let's go to the final one. I'm going through these quickly again. You can download these, by the way. They are available for download. And these are the things that we cover at trainingsites.io, the videos I do on YouTube, and all of the free tutorials that are available in the community there. So number 10, the final one here, is community rewards and engagement. And you can see there's 39 little sub-items there. And you'll also notice at the bottom, I've got a whole bunch of individual courses and things here that are additional pieces to that. So I'm showing you 10. There's all sorts of work to do here. And at the end of the day, it's all about this number 10, I think, because, I'll just open this up for a little bit if I can, the bottom one I have, because you want to make sure, at least most people do when they're building out these communities and these businesses, is you want to be able to help and share people. And it's not about selling a course, in my opinion. It's about selling a reward or an outcome. And I have not seen, or I've seen very few people who have not had questions after buying a course. There's always something personal about the way you want to implement the information, and having a way to grow a community, a tribe, whatever you want to call it, but people who want answers to questions that you can answer. If you can give them the ability to ask you and or the community to generate content within the community, this is a powerful, powerful tool. And to do that, you have a whole bunch of strategies that you can not only think like a customer, but get them to promote your business with you. And you can also make it fun and educational for them to do that. So setting up a community reward programs, often this is called gamification. There's a lot more to it. It's not just about the courses, it's about the community. And that's this whole kind of system that I talk about with, hub and spoke marketing, or more importantly, building a campus blueprint. Let me just pull up the main one again. This blueprint, these 10 pieces that you're going to be looking at, about doing the research, having some goals for your campus, making sure you got a business model, picking all the right tools to support those previous 3, building out your actual campus, creating a checklist of how your courses want to look, building out learning tracks or the courses that fit that process, adding your content and creating it, promoting it, and then more importantly, engaging the community. This is all fun stuff that can be done. These are the things that are going to happen. You just have to start out and say, hey, you know what? I'm interested in creating an online business. I know what business I want to do because I've done the research and I know who has the questions. I have some goals for how I'm going to be able to help them. This is the kind of business I want to set up that I have a goal for. These are the tools that I need to get started. It doesn't have to be much, and you can get started very easily and quickly, knowing that you want to go in a certain direction, and then just start creating your course to start off with, knowing that you have other courses or other things to offer over and above. Now, I didn't get in. This is just a campus. I didn't even get into the different revenue streams that are available over and above that. This is an absolutely huge, huge, huge opportunity for anyone who wants to grow an education business. And I think more importantly, be involved with the people that they're teaching or sharing their expertise with. So it doesn't matter how old you are, you're better off the older you are because you got more experience to share. I'd love to teach and talk about this material. So if you're interested, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and also go visit trainingsites.io. Join our community and take some of the additional videos and free courses that we offer there. Put your comments below if you have questions. Let me know if there's anything that's of interest to you, and I'll do my best to create videos and courses and provide download tools for you to make sure that you can start, build, and grow your education business. Take care and expect the best.